Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to have you join us today on the program Woman to Woman. I'm adorable Adesuwa Osawage, or if you please, Adesuwa Osawage, the adorable, whichever you want to call. I'm cool, I'm good, I'm all right with it. So, we're here again to talk about women's problem, and today we want to look at sexual harassment. Sexual harassment in place of work, in church, in the market, everywhere that it can happen. That's what we want to talk about today. Whose fault? Is it the woman's fault? Is it the person who is perpetrating this dastardly act? Whose fault is it? Is it because of the way you are dressed as a woman, or the way you talk, or your disposition towards people? Is that why this is happening? These are many more we're going to be looking at today on the program Woman to Woman. And I have with me the delectable Doris Oyinyechi Ogbefu. She is the founder Society for Empowered Youth Development here in Edo State and all over the world. Doris, happy to have you join us.
Thank you so much, Ma.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, and Didi Lawrence Ekpeyong is supposed to be here. So I don't know what's holding her back, probably hold up or something. You know, this is rush hour and anything can happen, yeah. So we're still expecting Didi Lawrence Ekpeyong though, so if she comes here on time, maybe she'll be part of this conversation today. Otherwise, we'll push it till another time. So let Doris and I do what we can do to make things good for you and I. All right, sexual harassment is what we want to look at today. So, Doris, by your own definition, tell us, what is sexual harassment? What do you think? What do you see as sexual harassment?
Okay, sexual harassment could be defined as something, comments, jokes about sex or gender in the workplace, or it could even be at home between, let's say, the madam or the Oga, what we normally use in Nigeria to describe the head of the home, Oga.
The Oga, the house help, the Oga, madam.
Yes, between Oga and the female house help, or the madam, as in the woman of the house, and the male housemaid, or even the security man or the driver. So when such conversation, jokes comes up, it could be through via text message, it could be verbally, it could be through emails, it could be through telephone call, different,
it can even be physical.
Yes, verbally, you know, when you talk about such intimacy, things about intimacy that has to do with sex, basically, yes, it is, it can be defined or seen as sexual harassment.
You know, we've read stories, we've seen things, and thanks to social media, we're seeing quite a number of things unfold now. At least as they unfold, we get to know about these things, particularly sexual harassment in place of work, at school, even in churches. It does happen.
Place of worship.
Yes, like the one that happened one time that really went viral, the lecturer who wanted to sleep with a girl, promised to give her marks and all of that. You remember that video? We talked about it.
You mean the Dean Faculty of Law, University of Calabar?
That is one. There's another one that happened in University of Lagos.
Okay, yes, long time ago. Yes, that happened between him and the students. Sex for grades.
For grades, yeah.
Yes, sex for grade. Yes, it do happen in the workplace, at home, place of worship, in the farm. It depends. Anywhere it can happen, and it do happen. So it's just for us as individuals to watch out when this happens and speak up. Yes, to make sure that yes, it does not exceed such to lead into another problem. It could even lead, you know, this sexual harassment, it can go beyond exchange, because it's through exchange of text, through exchange of words. You know, we normally say toasting. We use that word. Yes, toasting.
It is spinner.
Yes, it's chiking him or her.
Okay.
It's seduction. You know, this seduction, it could still be through body language. Your mode of dressing, you understand, to entice
the opposite sex.
Yes, to entice the opposite sex.
Doris, let's
attention.
do a very short break here. When we come back, the house is going to be fuller. We'll take a very short break now. All right, thank you for staying tuned to the program Woman to Woman on Independent Television. I'm yours truly, Adesuwa Osawage, the adorable. I did say that Didi Lawrence Ekpeyong is going to be joining us, and here she is. Didi, a pleasure to have you join us.
Thank you so much.
As if I know, say Naka Wahala and hold up Wahala. Happy to have you join us. Okay, we're talking about sexual harassment, which of course you already know that that's what we're going to be talking about today. So to you, what does sexual harassment mean?
Well, I would say sexual harassment is unwanted advances towards me, towards another person, making funny statements around me that I wouldn't love, being unnecessarily naughty towards me, not respecting my person or my receptiveness towards you. Sexual harassment is a lot of things to many people. And to me, it's just going out of your way to be unnecessarily doing things that are not acceptable by me, or things that you know are not welcoming to me. Advances, suggestiveness, some stuff that you know that obviously I don't want, but because you just want to be naughty, you just go ahead to do it. Maybe
perhaps the person thinks that you will like it.
You know, so that's sexual harassment to me.
Okay, let's look at sexual harassment in place of work. You know, Doris, I'll come to you now. Sexual harassment in place of work, is it a woman's fault or the fault of the person who is making these advancements towards the woman?
It's not necessarily comes from the men. Women as well harass men in the workplace.
Sexually too?
Sexually too.
How so?
The men call it green light.
Green lights?
Yes.
Traffic lights?
Yes, the woman is giving green light.
Green lights?
Yes. It's both ways. In fact, nowadays, the most trending is ladies, women sexually harassing men in the office or in the workplace, where they give all these unsolicited signs, comments, make jokes, touch body parts unnecessarily. That is not called for. You understand? I am talking about the workplace.
Why would a woman want to harass a man
That's
sexually?
where I'm going to. Because they do this because of so many factors. Maybe they think that when they offer their body, they get favor from the boss. Mostly when the boss is a man, whether immediate boss or overall departmental boss or head. So when they give this green light and the man understands this green light, the men call the sexual harassment as green light.
They see the green light.
Yes.
Traffic, we are moved. Exactly.
When they see such, they say, oh, she's ready. You get it. So it's just for them to give little consent to respond to the green light, and it sparks, it happens. So for the women, there is this perception of ego that me and Oga shared intimacy. Yes, we've shared intimacy. So they begin to feel this sense of job security.
Superiority above others.
Job security first. You begin to see superiority, sense of superiority, arrogance begins to set in. You understand what I'm saying, because they see that, oh, Oga is inside the normal language. Oga dey inside.
Oga dey inside the matter.
Oga dey inside. Are you getting me? So nothing dey happen. You understand? So it's not, I don't really see sexual harassment now as something only perpetrated by the men. In fact, women do that more. And again, those that have little or nothing to offer in the office, they see it that, oh, using bottom to gain promotion, recognition, exactly is the way forward, is the ticket to self-actualization, job satisfaction.
Let me feel your pulse on this one now. Let me feel your pulse on what Doris just raised. Is it true?
Well, I'm going to speak from experience. I've noticed I will tend to agree with her because I've seen colleagues at work that do not have much to offer, yet they want to feel like they belong, like they are something, you know. Just they want to feel effective in some way, and they tend to want to play around the bosses or the supervisors or something just to gain relevance, you know. And at times these things don't really work out because it's not every man that you feel you can just go and be suggestive around and the man will fall for it. I've had my bosses at work that such cases happened around in the office, but they didn't fall for it, you know. So there are women that could be that petty. I see them as being petty. Not
are we looking at married women now or single women?
Both.
Because it's more appalling when a married woman does that.
But some married ladies do not have shame. Yeah.
Yes.
They just feel so long as I'm rubbing shoulders with the bosses on top, I should be fine, you know. And they know that maybe the job description, they cannot really meet up with what is expected of them. So they try to be relevant in some ways by going like, oh, after all, I'm close to whatever happens, they'll cover me.
You know, those days when we talk about sexual harassment, it usually comes from the men. You know, if you don't submit, you have to submit to be promoted. You have to submit to get choice positions. You have to submit to be relevant in the organization. But research have shown that a lot of women are into this green light thing. They give the green light. Yes. But this thing that you call green light might just be a misconception, because I was somewhere and I heard people discussing, and the man was telling the lady that even that one, they like me, but na person wife, I know they like person wife. You know, and that one say, how so? Because I know that woman to be decent. He said, no, when she's talking to me, she usually strike a pose. Of course. She stands one kind, she sits one. You see, and then that got me worried, because I know that most women, like, if I want to talk to you, I strike a pose, I cannot stand straight. Even as a military person, when you are doing attention at least for those of us who grew up in the barracks, we know those things you are doing. At least when you see your superior, you are like, chonsa, that kind of a thing. At a point, your guy will tell you at ease. That means you cannot keep standing like that. You will relax. So that got me really thinking that me, if you're talking to me, I can just decide to, because I cannot stand straight. I can just strike a pose or just lean on something or just do something. Is that not, if that man is going to use that one, is that not a misconception? No. Is that not a mistake on the part of the man? Because it's not every woman that can stand. In fact, not even men. I wish I was standing now, to strike some pose.
I think we are talking about ethical comportment.
You just strike a pose. And does that not translate? No, listen. Does that not translate to you liking the person or giving green lights?
No, see, in communication, we have different types of communication.
If you know your communication well,
non-verbal, body language, which when you see, you understand. You don't need to even let the person speak. From the body language, you will know where the person is going to. But this green light we are talking about, the man may be so ashamed to tell you the truth. Other lights he have seen that he may not like to open up or tell you. There are specific things this set of women do display. Okay. And this display usually happen in secret, where they meet, when there is one-on-one contact with the man. Not in public. Okay. You understand? But in public, if you are still sensible, you will know that something is happening. That woman is is up to something. You understand me? But in secret, that is where they really flash this green light to the man. So, you know, men are wired differently from us. Yes. So when they send such signal to them, they always decode. And those who are willing and ready to take the free meat, according to them, they oblige and subscribe to that. And let me still tell you that it is not assurance, it's not the ticket to success as they think. Because every reasonable man, you know, men are wired differently. Yes. There is no man I have seen, it takes the grace of God and those who are highly disciplined to see such green light
and resist,
and resist it or look away.
Because I was going to ask how
some of them leverage on that opportunity to deal with you. They will as well respond to your green light and crush it.
I think you get it.
At the end of the day, they will still do what they want to do, take decision they want to take, and still reward hard work. So you will be at the losing end. That is where you begin to see some ladies in workplace, in the office, in anywhere, any organization. Some of them becomes very tyrant, very wicked, a kind of reacting to things that you did not know.
Okay.
Transfer of aggression, envy. They begin to strike you if you are still performing and getting reward more than them.
And they that have submitted.
Exactly. We'll be so annoyed that even after all I have done to Oga, that is where you begin to hear that.
They might not be hating the
yes, they will not hate who does not know, innocent person, who does not know what is happening behind closed doors. You will not be the one to bear the grunt. In the background, you'll be hearing this Oga is very wicked, very ungrateful.
You know, one bad apple, they say, spoil the whole bunch, you know. And when you dip a finger in palm oil, the tendency that it's going to rub off on other fingers is very, very high. Now, how do we discourage sexual harassment on the part of the woman? How do we beg our gender, my gender, my gender? How do we beg my gender? How do we appeal to our gender, particularly the married ones? As a single lady, if you want to hang it on the wall and say, okay, everybody see you. If you want to carry it on a platter of gold and be serving it to everyone, it's even bad as a single lady that you carry and be serving a platter of gold. Say, I don't want to carry, you know, that kind of a thing. Not to talk of a married woman. My father of blessed memory, good man. You know, when in the evenings, not now that parents don't have time for their kids. In the evenings, when my father comes back from the office and then the women are, we just gather after dinner and then we'll be advising my sisters, hey, if a man like this, a man like this, let me not catch you on the road with a man talking. If the man is serious, he will come to my sitting room here and introduce himself. You know that kind of advice. Then I told my brothers, follow any woman. Actually, they see the kind of advice they give. It's a follow any woman you like, but not a married woman. Because that will be your end. The easiest way to die is to follow somebody else's wife. He said, if the person does not handle you, nature will deal with you, and God frowns at it. Is it that we men who are supposed to be very religious, if you go to churches now, if you see 10 men, you are seeing like 100, if you see 10 men, you are seeing like 100 women. Right? So how do we dissuade my gender, very churchious and religious gender? And some of these women that are involved in this, they can carry Bible. Yes. They can tie scarf, they will tie their ear join the scarf, Some of them will say, and that kind of a thing, you know the way they talk. Then in secret,
I'm the president of CW.
Auntie, how do we? No, Doris, so please, put me down. I've not asked you to call names.
Sorry.
How do we now talk to our gender to say that, particularly the married ones, that this green light, it will not do you anything. It will destroy your homes. Do you know the number of divorce cases we have in our courts today? Because of what? Because of infidelity. Infidelity in capital letters. Most married women are on fire. And another thing I came to realize is this Japa syndrome. Most of their husbands are not here. But not all of them. Not all of them though. There are still some women in our generation that are behaving like, those are our women that their husband will go and farm in one place and won't come back like 2-3 years, and the husband will come back and meet them intact. But now I don't know what is happening. Ladies, how do we speak to our gender? How do we dissuade? Because if they talk about one woman now, they say women are so they be.
Okay, we are
how do we dissuade them?
We are talking about green lights, right comportment in our places of work, right?
Not just places of work.
And wherever we find ourselves as women. We should just know that women, we are the homemakers, we are look, if we as women cannot even comport ourselves,
are you sure women are homemakers now? Because most women are home breakers now.
Okay, we are talking about now, but the mere fact that it's like that does not mean that we should not say it the way it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Even in the Bible, they say, but before it was not so.
It was not so.
So we should go back to the basics. Let's go back to our roots. Let's go back to the basics. It's a woman is someone that makes a society. A woman is the one that teaches the children stuff in the house, in the home. Is a woman that is the bedrock of this attitude forming.
The first teacher a child encounters is the mom.
So if you cannot even comport yourself, how are you going to impact your own child? You know, because whatever you are doing, however way you are behaving, you are like a mentor to your children.
But unfortunately, some women will say, do what I say, not what I do.
It doesn't work that way. Is what people watch, is what we are seeing, what we can perceive, that's what gets attached to us so much. We can hear something and forget. But the one that you've seen is very difficult. The picture keeps playing back. So how you comport yourself is what actually matters.
Okay.
So as a woman, as women, we should come back home, come back to who we are. Culturally, we are very traditional. If we are going to be looking at just women in Africa, women in Nigeria, women in Edo State, we are very traditional in nature. We are not, before it was said that women are seen, not heard. Yes, we now go out to work. Even in your workplaces, you should just be careful enough to be occupied with your job. You have your job description or prescription, how is it said? Just work, do your job. Then do it well. If there are areas you don't understand, meet your colleagues, read up, do something. It's not about familiarizing with the men and getting yourself messed up.
Okay,
that's what the way to...
In 30 seconds, please tell us how our gender should behave in workplace, in churches, because I know that some, I don't wish to mention the name of the church, but way back, there are women who used to tempt some set of religious leaders those days. We know, we see. So Doris, in 30 seconds,
we all have conscience as human. What is good is good. What is bad is bad. As long as we are more than or above the age of 18, we are adults. So we should always imbibe good virtues.
Yes.
Virtues that will portray us as nice persons, well-behaved persons.
Thank you so much.
Let it guide us.
I would have loved to add more, but I can't because time is of essence. So ladies, what is good is good. What is bad is bad. Like my Yoruba friends will say, "Onti o da o da." We'll see you again next week. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.